all we have to do is to decide what to do with the time that is given us. Is it any wonder why I am addicted to box lunch? This even. Hello guys, and welcome to this Lord of the Rings cardio journal update walkthrough. Yeah, I finished the one challenge. So we have a challenge badge thingamajiggy to open up. I'm excited to share an update on the journal only because I did this really creative thing, and if you were watching my last Gratitude Sunday, you got a quick sneak peek. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of update you on what's going on here. So if you didn't catch the first video, trying to get back into cardio and joined a challenge with the Conqueror challenge. And yeah, it's one of those challenges where you you do your thing, walking, rowing, cycling, and your Fitbit kind of calculates, and you can add your distances and mileages in, and you follow along on the Lord of the Rings adventure. So I started off in the Shire, and now I'm working on the Fellowship. You can get a little bit more information on the first video I did. I want to jump right in. You guys saw all of this in the last video, except I have some updated milestones. Of course, I went the total distance of 145 miles in the Shire and had all those bottles recycled. But the story is really about February with the intentions and goals. It's kind of blank there, isn't it? That's because if you follow along with my channel as a caregiver, my life gets a little wonky sometimes. And February, I kind of threw myself into my YouTube channel, and I did videos about Chinese paper cuts and my lap book, and was really enjoying finding a distraction from some of the craziness with the YouTube channel. But in doing that, I was avoiding this journal. It was just not even on my radar, and kind of neither was my cardio. With the app and how many miles I had to do, that 145 miles, and the pace that I gave myself, I didn't have to really do anything extra, and I was always ahead of the pacer. So just by living life and even not doing that much walking, I was doing pretty good. So yeah, February. So I asked myself, what the heck am I going to do when I update the journal now? You know, what am I going to write in there? I started off with these stickers and doing a little journaling about this whole idea, taking the postcards that they give you and putting them in, tracking my milestones, filling in the month. And it's not like I was doing this daily. It was kind of like, oh, it's March. Let me go back and fill in January and make sure we're all caught up there. So I think this is where we left off in my last video. And I had already printed out this one. Let me zoom in a little. I already had printed out this sticker about the relentless pursuers chase the hobbits through the night. And, you know, I kind of struggled getting back to the journal. because I knew I wasn't keeping up with what I wanted to do. So how do you face the hard facts? And how do you jump in there and try and redeem yourself? And I let my art journaling kind of lead the way. So in kind of a moment of frustration, I got into the story and I grabbed some Cloud Whip, which is basically a texture paste, and then I grabbed these mica powders that I have, and I think it was the Graphite Black and the Blue Iris. Yes, I took those two and mixed them together. I guess I was hoping more for like a marbled look between the black and the blue, but as I mixed the two together, I got this crazy gray. Like, you didn't need to see me that close up, did you? I got this crazy kind of gray color, which I didn't mind, you know. It's kind of matching that gray and that sticker where you can barely see the pursuers. Yeah, I know you guys can't see that too well. And I started off on this side with some stencils. First, I did a tree stencil in the background with some of that vintage distress ink pad, and then layered a different tree design on the top and took that texture paste over the stencil. A leaf stencil, trying like a closer up, you know, like if you're looking in the distance to the forest, the stuff that's closer to you is going to be a little bit more detailed. So I put some leaves on the top, but it really matched my mood, this gray mood, feeling like, you know, I'm letting myself down. I'm dealing with a lot as a caregiver. And yeah, just over here, kind of like just cleaning off what I had extra from that paste and adding some more of the ink pad, distressed ink pad colors in there, and decided to kind of go with the story. The weight of increased care felt like a relentless pursuit, just like the relentless pursuers here in the stickers, in the sticker. A shadow that stretched before me, and the distant hoofbeats of the black riders echoed the relentless rhythm of my caregiver duties. Okay, full disclosure, I worked with AI to try and combine my thoughts, sharing my thoughts of what I was feeling, and asking AI to help me integrate it into the story. So I'm not quite the wordsmith. I have a little like augmented help, but it came out really cool. The distant hoofbeats of the black riders echoed the relentless rhythm of my caregiver duties. Yet, the brandy wine, a river of transition, holds a promise of hope. Let's get you in there. The ferry, a symbol of passage, held my focus. Not knowing what waits on the other side, I push forward. Come what may, I must believe it will all work out. Very cool, right? And I added like, I don't know, I just felt like it needed these circles. I don't know how they fit into the story really, but you know, that's the beauty of art journaling. You feel like you want to add something, add it in there and go with it. And it came out really cool. And then I journaled more about it, you know, just getting in there about how the second half of January really focuses on Jerry's need for hands-on assistance and trips up to the VA. And a little frustration over, you know, I put in an application for accelerated caregiver status, but then he actually improved. That is not a complaint. But, you know, to almost feel like I was trying to get away with something kind of weighed on me. when I put in this application for accelerated caregiver status, it's because your loved one gets to a point where like you really have to do a lot for them. And he was at that point when I put the application in. He couldn't walk, he couldn't do things. But thank the Lord, he improved, and it was like, okay, I guess you can withdraw my application, you know. So dealing with a lot of emotions there. So I understand why my cardio quite wasn't getting achieved, and having a place to kind of share that story for myself and to remind myself, you know, this is life, this is what I'm dealing with. Give myself a break, right? So I was very grateful that the Fitbit is kind of carrying me, like just my regular life. I didn't even need to focus on getting on the spin bike or the rowing machine, and remembering that I was severely sleep deprived through a lot of that. So in comes February, a long walk in the woods. I titled February this because, like I said, it just seemed to me like February flew past, and I hadn't tracked anything in this journal. And I was like, do I try and backtrack and really fill in the journal? I feel like there was a burden there that I didn't need to put on myself to try and come up with stories or mileage. And so part of me thought, well, I'll just tear out February. I didn't do anything in February. I'll tear it out. And I was reminded of tunnel books, where you cut the pages in such a way that it's wider at the top and gets smaller in the middle. So like you have this tunnel effect when you open up the book. And I thought, well, that's perfect. If I do that, it'll cut away all the February pages. I won't have to worry about journaling anything. And to go along with this theme, because at the same moment, Frodo was taking this long journey to get to Bree, to the prancing pony. So I was on a journey too. And I felt like I was in the woods, kind of, you know, couldn't see the forest for the trees. Couldn't see the tree for the forest? How does that go? So I love how this came out. All right. Dun, dun, dun. That's not what I want to show you. I did go back and fill in the mileages just from living life. What was there? Like one spin. Yep. Coming to the end of the month, it was like, maybe I should throw a spin in there. But here we go. Yes, I love this. Excited to show this to you. Now, being in the funk that I was in, I don't have any footage of me cutting, doing the cutting, but I do have footage of the watercoloring, which I will get to. So how did I do this? Can I walk you through this? Because each page, I cut it by hand, not as difficult as it sounds, because the big center, I started on the back because I knew this had to be the widest. And to kind of get a sense, I thought, all right, let me start in the back page here and do like an outline of a tree, that I want to do a tree. And I grabbed the scissors, right? I folded the paper like this, grabbed the scissors, went snip, and then grabbed my smaller scissors. And I kind of cut this part with the scissors, just made a hole. And I started with just the hole. And originally, I had the postcard from finishing. And I was going to put this postcard here. And I wanted the hole to kind of focus in on the postcard. But the more I did this, I realized I didn't want that. I wanted the green in the back. So I started with the holes. I knew where I wanted branches, and I promised myself, because I was definitely inspired. There's an artist that does this in more detail that I found on Pinterest, and I'm gonna have to include an image of what she did. I believe it's a she, and put her name in there, just because I was inspired by what she does. And it gave me the idea to kind of layer each page differently with these extending branches. So I made those 2 branches, covered this, and I did it backwards when I was outlining it. So since this was the small one, I put it over this page. I outlined where the small one was, then turned it over, and when I cut on the outside of that line. So it got a little bit wider. And I just took my time, and I went page by page, all the way up to the front, doing a different cut for the branches on each one. So these branches are staggered. And then I decided, well, maybe I better do that with the root system too. And staggered the root system. And also then added the leaves, the holes for the leaves up at the top. Now those I did do with an X-Acto. I have this little rotary cutting mini mat, so I would place it in here. And honest to goodness, I kind of drew a little something, but then when I took the X-Acto, and it was really more this one where I have a Cricut blade. I've shown this before. I take a Cricut blade, and like a pen, I just kind of went in there, and whichever way my hand kind of went, I kind of tried to make little leaf-looking images and took my time and layered it like that. And then once I decided I was going to add the watercolors to it, this is where I really want to inspire you guys who are afraid to use watercolors. With a project like this, it's sloppy. It's like get everything wet and dip the brush in there and just slop the brush around. Let some of it dry. You'll come up with hard edges, then layer it over. I would grab my heat gun and kind of blow dry it and maybe do another layer on top. Where I started with doing the browns and grays of the trunk. And then went back and did all the greens. It was so funny. It was such a mess. At one point I had like a puddle of water down here. Puddle of green water because I was just saturating my watercolor palette. But if you're afraid of like playing with watercolors, doing something like that, and I just love the crinkle. I just love the crinkle of wet paper after it's dried. But you get a feel for how colors blend and mix, and it's a safe, carefree kind of environment to just play and see what it looks like when water dries, and or if you take a towel and kind of dab a little bit and pull some of the color back up. Now, if I wanted to spend more time on this and really get crazy, which I just didn't have the heart for it, this was enough. But if the fun thing to do then would be to take a marker and find some of these edges and outline them to see how they organically made like ridges in the trunk of the tree, or to like outline some of these splotches so that it almost looks like the leaves on a tree. All right, see this splotch here? This here is a hole cut out where you're seeing the color on the other side. But this right here, the way this splotch is, you could take a marker and kind of outline that, and it would look like leaves on a tree. So once I saw how this was going, and I originally had that postcard in the background here, and I was like, there's no way, it just does not look right. That's when I decided, okay, we're just gonna all green, and the have I lost my way, that's just the sentiment that was on my mind, because it had everything to do with exercise and cardio. Because at this point, with my caregiver burnout, not only am I not really doing cardio, but I haven't been down doing my weightlifting, and it's bugging me. It's really bugging me. But I journal more about that in the March section. So this came out so well that it reignited my fire for wanting to play in this journal, because otherwise trying to force myself to just journal about something just didn't cut it. So this seemed to be more effective. It fell in with that journey in the woods and have I lost my way, and it's like, okay, I see what this journal can be. And it's almost like, because in March now I'm back to kind of traditional pictures and journaling, I'm like, not quite as exciting and fun as this little tunnel book portion. So I'm feeling like the next pages are going to be anticlimactic. So I just journal about the fact about how much fun I had playing with YouTube in February and kind of hanging out with you guys in that world, that I paid no mind to this journal, and how I finished the Shire, got to the Prancing Pony. But I decided with the new challenge, with the challenges you get to choose like a 92-mile short version or a 680-mile long version, I said, I'm going for the 680-mile one, because now it's forcing me, that's a lot of miles, and I'm trying to do it in a certain amount of days, that at this point the pacer, I have yet to catch up to the pacer so that I finish on time. So right now I think I'm 10 miles behind. So it's causing me to have to give it a little more attention and a little bit more effort, which in my caregiver role, and that since he's feeling better now, I feel like, yeah, I can manage this. Yeah, at least I can say that right here, right now, in this moment, right? Life changes on a dime, so God willing, okay? So I got my new bib for the new challenge, and I'm looking forward to opening this with you at the end and seeing, because the ring is in here. So let's get through March real quick so we can open that up. Got my new bib, started the new challenge. My part of my goals in the beginning is to be better at logging every day. So today is the 12th. I am up to date on the 11th. And just started the new story. I printed out more cycling stickers so that when I do spin on a day, I can stick the sticker in the book. So where are we in the story here? Frodo got to the Prancing Pony and Gandalf wasn't there. Disappointed, right? You have Strider in the corner just watching everything. There's a skerfuffle. And the ring gets on Frodo's finger. He disappears and oh my God, all hell breaks loose. So, oh, okay. Yeah. So I've reached the Prancing Pony looking for relief and a dear friend, right, who would be Gandalf. But my respite from Jerry, who has been feeling better, is short-lived because he's got pneumonia now. So I also journal about how I worked on a really intense video about behind the scenes, how I use my equipment. And in order to review all that footage before I put it out, I brought the spin bike here in the studio for 55 minutes, put on 10 miles. And now having a new beginning, a new adventure, because Strider takes us in. I talk about, right, Strider pulls Frodo in, but the rest of the group don't know what's going on, so they're going to protect Frodo. And it says Strider pulls Frodo into a separate room, so I journal a little bit about how I pull the spin bike into different rooms so that I can get the miles. And how I'm starting to get into a habit of taking a picture of my spin bike readout when I'm done, to try and remember what day I did it so that I remember to log it, and giving myself proof, because my memory sometimes. So if I take a picture, I'll remember the time and the mileage. Talking about dealing with Jerry's pneumonia and some side effects and things like that. I feel like I'm being hunted by the Nazgul and can't get a good night's sleep, right? Because there's pictures of the Nazgul putting the sword in the bed thinking they've got the hobbits, but they didn't, because Strider helped them. So I got my first postcard from this challenge. They're not sure if they can trust Strider, but they're starting this journey, right? And I know in the movie, to coincide with these stickers that I got, they're like trying to take a break, have second breakfast and all, loving their potatoes. And Strider's like, we can't stop. We got to keep moving. Which I write here, I can't rest on my laurels. The pace of this race will leave me behind if I don't keep moving. So no second breakfast. And then to coincide with how I'm really working on my diet and what I'm eating, I write in here, I wonder if the hobbits would like beet burgers, because I made myself beet burgers the other day, but there's definitely potatoes and carrots there too, because I love potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Oh, so anyhow, that's where I am with March. Let's stop with the chit chatter and open up the challenge prize. Come on. Oh, did I forget to mention? I mentioned it in my Gratitude Sunday. I got this at Box Lunch, and it just matched the book so well. So my book has a new little bling attached to it. Okay, let's get to the prize. The ring, my precious. Bum, bum, bum. Make every mile count. You have only one choice. The ring must be destroyed. No, I want to keep it. I want to see my medal. Congratulations on completing your Conqueror challenge. Hashtag the Conqueror challenges. Here it is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, if I open it up, the ring is under there. I know it. Oh wow, look at this. The Shire. Oh, the little hobbit hole. There it is, guys. The ring. Did I put it on? Oh my God. Oh no. I've got the ring. Does it? Oh, look at that. I feel like we got a whisper. I feel like I got it upside down. Oh. I feel like I have to do some sort of, I don't know, I have to think in my brain right now how I can make this happen. Make myself disappear. What finger is that going to fit on? Ready? Movie magic. Oh no! Can you see me? Did I disappear? I'm back. Oh my God, what we do as fans, right? This was fun. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. That's pretty cool. All right, guys, just a reminder to not give up on ourselves. Really, to give ourselves a break. Remember to enjoy the process and to, yeah, you know, try and explore and experiment like I did with that tunnel book to try and re-inspire ourselves. Yeah, I wanted to share that with you. I've had the ring now for a while, still in the package, and I've been waiting to share that with you. So I'm glad we had this time together, and yeah, fingers crossed. I'm gonna transfer into like Star Wars now. Do or do not. I have to get back into cardio. I have to, and my working out. It's all good, guys. It is all good. Look at the way I'm sitting. You don't get to see my logo. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys. Thanks for tolerating me. Thanks for spending your time with me, and I look forward to spending the next adventure with you. All right, laugh at life. Laugh really hard and a lot. Ciao, guys. Oh no, guys, can you see me? Yes, can you see me? Oh no, can you see me? Did I disappear? I'm back.